Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing my what sold for the beginning of last week, which would be Monday through Thursday, September 12th through the 15th. Ebbs and flows, right? We talk about it a lot. Ebbs and flows. I have my good days and it just seems like I'll have a really good day and then the next day is here and the next day is here. You know, that wonderful bar graph we all get to stare at when we open up our seller hub. And then I have a day, and then it just seems to be, that just seems to be the pattern right now. Listing like crazy. For those that have been on with my channel for a while, I bought over 1,200 plush from a viewer named Kim, and I'm getting close to getting most of it listed. Most. I should, if I work as diligently as I have the last week, I might actually get through it. I have some that are set aside that I need to do like lots and stuff, but it's getting there. So yeah, it's been a lot of work. We went out yard selling today. No grand footage like the video we released last night. I knew you guys would get a kick out of that. That was one funny video, funny yard sale. But Lisa Frank. And Robert didn't realize when I was like, Robert, right at the beginning of the bill, Robert, look. It wasn't the turkey. I was already spotting that Lisa Frank plush way at the far end of that yard sale. Once you know it, you know it. So, and I added, you guys can't see it, I think one of Kim's plush, it got added up here on my wall. It's like a Navy Academy goat. I didn't go to the Navy Academy, but I was in the Navy for 13 years, so I just had to add it to my wall. And you guys see that corn right there? This is what happens when you live with boys. While my grandson was here, we couldn't find the charging cable to the Fisher-Price Bigfoot. So up here, you guys can't see it. I have some of those little totes, and it's just full of games and toys we've not played with that I need to eventually get to. I think one of them has like old video games in I need to get to. A can of corn up there. Why is a can of corn in the toys? So yeah, boys. All right, let me go ahead and get to my screens. I had sale, well, of course, everything starts on eBay for me, and a majority of my sales are on eBay. But I do cross-list using List Perfectly to Etsy, Poshmark, Mercari, and the Facebook, which I had a sale on there though, but I took down 2,400 listings, deleted them. I've only got 40 on there. I made a sale, but so most of my stuff on here. So I didn't get any sales on Etsy this time period last week, or Bonanza. Bonanza's dead also, but I have a feeling Bonanza is like Google powered. And because I'm doing all of my ending and sell similar on eBay, it's messing up Bonanza. So I don't really blame them. But in general, I don't make a whole lot of sales on there. So, all right, let me get to my screens. Had to start with this tie. I still buy tie. If it's cheap and it's cute. Not really the beanies, not those beanie babies. I do pick them up at the Goodwill bin sometimes if they've got their tags and, I don't know, I'm having a moment. I'll pick them up. But I thought this was cute. It was from 2005. It's Cassidy the cat, and it sold for best offer of $8. I don't do free shipping, so when I say something sold for $8, the buyer did pay shipping also. When it's under £1, I do flat rate shipping, And if it's over a pound, I do calculated shipping. I don't remember where. This was a recent pickup, but I just can't remember. Probably $1 or less. Most things that we buy, I think if you averaged it out, it's going to be $1 or less. This is a Pikachu Pokemon cap from 2016. I took a best offer of $7 for it. Get it gone. This is Frizzle Chicken Pancake Coop Plush. Not quite sure where I get all that information. It's from Giftable World Inc. I must have got it off of a tag. But it sold for $14.36. So I'll usually pick up obscure looking cartoonish plush, because someone out there is probably a chicken collector or actually knows what Frizzle Chicken Pancake Coop is. Earth Spirit. We buy a lot of Earth Spirit and Clark's. We usually pay $1 or $2 for them, and they sell quickly for us. These are Monica slip-on sandals. They sold for $18.25. I picked this up at an estate sale. Can't remember again what I paid for it. Probably a couple of dollars. But it was this saddle-shaped potty chair. It says training chair, Western cowboy, horse decor. I just thought it was adorable. Yeah, it's weird, but weird sells, right? Weird sells. It sold for $22.45, and it fit perfectly inside one of the large priority boxes. So it was easy to ship. That's the best kind of sales when, you know, for me, if it's over $20, although I do lots in my bread and butter, and it's easy to ship. Dakin Elephant Plush. It kind of had that Sherpa fur on like its face and arms and legs. Very different, definitely vintage. I don't think I had one to compare to as far as comps. So I usually go, you know, $29.95, $39.95, $49.95, just whatever. And this one sold for $34.16. Tonka Pound Puppies. I picked up, I want to say 5 or 6 of them at an estate sale. They were still sealed in their original packaging. I paid $2 each. I might have one left. Not quite sure. They're from the 1980s, and this one sold for $13.45. This is from TB Trading Company. I have tons of bears. If they're cute, I have to pick them up. I think TB Trading Company was probably in the same, like Dandy, MTY International. I think they were just brands that were sold at Walmart's and Kmart's and stores like that. This one sold for $17.05. Robert picked up a whole bunch of Francoma pottery on the last day of an estate sale where it was $5 fill a box. So he brought 2 boxes home that were just filled with Francoma. There was only one coffee mug, and it sold for $11.66. Lots of little people got sold this week. The next 3 are from one buyer. It says they're a repeat buyer, so I think I listed a ton. I now have another set of stuff to list. But this was the A-frame ladder from the 990 house. This came from the gift box that Farm Girl Scavenger Noel sent me. This ladder sold for $15. And then he also purchased this Little People Fireman with his fire truck. It sold for $9.50. A lot of times when you find this truck, the second part of the ladder that expands out is missing. So if you see them, make sure it has that second part. I'm sure you could sell it for parts. But, you know, you'll do better if you have the expanding ladder. And then this came from the Highway 127 box that I purchased for $95. These were the yellow beds, and there was the hard to find bunk beds in there, and it sold for $14. And then this was another sale. This is the Fisher-Price Little People Sesame Street Cookie Monster. It too was in the Highway 127 box that I picked up. There were like 4 sets of most of these characters. There were 4 Oscar, 4 Bert, 4 Cookie Monster, just 4 of Susan and Gordon, 4 Cookie Birds, Big Birds. This one sold for $11.66. This is Douglas. I had a video put out on some of the higher priced Douglas to be on the lookout for. I pick up all Douglas. I just love the brand. This is just a small little 7-inch duck. It sold for $8.96. But if you're picking these up for, a quarter, 50 cents, you can't beat that. And that's one of those you can just put it in a poly bag, ship it on its way. These are Nike women's like light blue sweatpants. I want to say these had their tag, but I don't remember if they do or not. They sold for $11.41. Now these next 2 items are from a viewer, so thank you very much, Barbara. Barbara ordered this Walmart brown bear. She paid $6.50 for it, and then she also grabbed this Cookie Monster, which she paid $4 for. Now this, I picked this up at an estate sale. It's been a while. I want to say maybe 3 or 4 years. It was, look at the size, 24 inches. This huge lion. The head was massive. It had condition issues. I'm sure I bought it in like a bulk amount, so I don't know how much I paid for it, but it was probably like $1, which is why I grabbed it, and finally received a $20 best offer and got it out of here. But I think the lady sent me a message saying she does like a puppet show. I don't know if it was at her church or school or somewhere, but it was going to be added into her puppet show. But it was a monster size. Now this is Walmart German Shepherd Plush. I tell you guys all the time, look out for the dogs. Walmart brand. This is the German Shepherd. This is the smaller. I guess there's a larger one because the person who bought this from me was actually looking for the larger one, but wanted to go ahead and grab this one in case she couldn't find it. $35.95. More Little People. This came from Farm Girl Scavenger Noel's gift box. These pieces were just kind of hodgepodge, so I just made a lot. They sold for $9 best offer. Now, I don't remember how much we paid for this. This is one of those ones Robert picked up. Flatware at a yard sale or estate sale. This is by West Bend. They were called Twilight Rose. I had to use a Google Lens to figure out the name of the design. I don't think they've been listed, but a couple of months. What I tend to do, not always, but sometimes, especially if it's really good condition, I divide them out into sets of 4. So this was 4 tablespoons, 4 knives, 4 teaspoons. I took a best offer on the 3 sets for $20. Now this is Parents' Choice. This is a lovey. Again, I just put out a video on the higher dollar loveys. I find a lot that are in the bread and butter range. Parents' Choice is a Walmart brand, and this one sold for $8.96. Selling a lot of littles right now, but it all adds up. And when this is your primary income, you need it. You need the consistent sales. Keep the algorithm happy. Send offers, take offers. Just do what you got to do. Now these, I bought a huge lot of Thomas the Train tracks. And these loose pieces were in there. Usually what I do with the tracks, they have blue tracks, gray tracks, brown tracks. Some are for the take-alongs. Some are for the track masters, which are the motorized ones. And of course, you've got the wooden ones for the wooden trains. But I make small lots of the tracks, like 20, 25. And usually, depending on which set it is, I can sell them usually anywhere from like 20 on up to probably $40, $45, depending on the specialty of the tracks and the connecting tracks and all of that stuff. But these were loosey-goosey. I did not have the bridge trestle parts. No, this is the trestle parts, suspension sides. But you know, the bottom. Ended up just making a lot of these all by themselves. They sold for $17.95. Carter's, another lovey. This is the gray elephant with the green security blanket part. There was no tag, so I did use Google Lens. These sold for $13.45. This was something else that came from Kim in that huge lot that I bought. They're the earpieces, the headpieces for wolves for the Great Wolf Lodge. I just decided to put all of them together. They sold in one day for best offer of $16. So if you see these, almost all of them will have, oh, it's not gonna let me change. They'll all have written on like the back of the ear or on the headband itself, Great Wolf Lodge. I bought a huge tote of Monster High buildings. Come to find out, the buildings had significant damage. I still have pieces and parts, like the accessories and stuff. So I need to figure them out. And I'll probably list them, you know, individually as replacement parts to each of the buildings that they go to. But this was the convertible car from City of Frights, and I took a best offer of $10 for it. It was kind of big. It was able to go in a large priority box though. Fisher-Price Little People. This is the pirate figure from 2005. I normally don't pair these up with anything because that was a unique set that only this pirate went to. So somebody who's trying to either collect all the little people, and there's people like that. I was one. I probably had, I want to say 300 or 400. I just was trying to find all of the variations, and then I sold it all in one big lot. You know, we're out there, collectors like this. But he sold by himself for $8.96. Walgreens. I talk about Walgreens. I do well with Walgreens. I just sold something that was a Publix released stuffed animal. Of course, Walmart, Kmart brand, Plush. I do really well with them. This one was from 2020, and just this cute monkey chimp plush sold for $11.66. Now this was one of those sets. I think Robert picked this up recently, paid $2 or $3 for them. It was pieces and parts to this set. I don't know why all of a sudden it's on that screen and not the original screen. But it was 25 pieces. They did have significant wear. Again, we used Google Lens to figure out what the design was, which on the back it said Interper, but the design was Florens. So I just went ahead and kept them together. This also sold probably within an hour of listing it. I listed it at $34.95 and I got a very quick offer of $30, which I accepted. Love quick sales, don't you? Now this. Oh, I don't know where we put them, but I think we talked about this probably in my live, but I think Robert made a post of it on my Facebook group. But I had this huge medium-sized Walmart box under here that I needed for something that I was going to pack and ship. So I pulled it out and I started taking out all of these. Were our video games, Robert and the boys, for the last like 10 or 12 years, probably longer, that they didn't use anymore. all of my kids are like on computers or PlayStation 5s and all of that right now. So we don't use these games anymore, and we're pulling them all out of the box so I can use it. And I looked at Robert and I said, wouldn't it be funny if we found this video game? This is the NCAA Football 14. And there, it was like the third to the last one coming out of the box, and both of us just cracked up. I listed it, sold it same day after getting tons of lowball offers for the full asking price, $89.95 for this game. That's been here, I don't know, probably since a few years after it was released. So now I've got to go through all those other ones because, like I said, there's a tote up here with games. There were probably 50 or 60 games in that box that I pulled out. I think I've got more over there. My kids are the type, we've had every game system. We've had most games that have come out, but they never got into the sport, so I'm pretty sure this was Robert. My kids like the racing and the Marios and all of that stuff. But yeah, you just never know what you're going to find in a box of stuff that you just put away. All right, but that was fun. Fun find, very quick sell. These next two were Poshmark sales. This was a Springbok jigsaw puzzle. Funny thing about this is Santorini, Greece. And the day that this sold, my friend Beth had just come back from a trip to Greece where she went to this island. And she was telling me about how all the houses are white and they have blue doors, blue roofs, I think, something like that. But it was just funny. The day she came back from her trip and we were talking, she'd been here and it sold on Poshmark for $13. And then American Eagle, we buy a lot of them. That's something that we find. American Eagle, Old Navy, if they're relatively cheap, we go ahead and pick them up. These were size 6 women's jeans. They sold for $15 on Poshmark. And then I had a Mercari order. This is an Old World Christmas ham bone, the pig Christmas ornament. It sold for $11. It's one of those glass ornaments. Pretty sure I picked it up at an estate sale on half price day, so I paid 50 cents for it. And then my Facebook order, my one and only Facebook order forever, because I'm just kind of over it. But Fisher Price, again, Little People. This is the red tricycle with the wheelchair. It sold for $9. So a lot of different things, a lot of Little People. You just don't know what's going to sell, what's going to get all of a sudden lots of interest. So, but right now I'm listing tons of Plush. Robert's been working on the clothes, so hopefully we're going to start seeing a few more clothing sales. And then I'm going to try to still keep trying to do bigger sales, get some of my older stuff gone. But it's almost fourth quarter, y'all. It's almost fourth quarter. Fingers crossed we all just have amazing, amazing sales. So, all right, time for me to get to work. Got to take some more pictures, get some more stuff cross-listed. Bye.